pressure team, same as they were last year. They want to get after the quarterback. They want to disrupt your timing. You know, in the nature of their defensive coordinator. But as far as they're just a little bit more improved in their consistency, I think they're a little bit more well-rounded. Everyone seems to be playing a little bit better. And, you know, for whatever reason, some guys have stepped up their play, you know, on the back end in a few spots, and I think they're playing good football.
Are they using Connor Barwin different than they did last year?
Yeah, he's playing great. You know, he's had a great season. He's, you know, they move him around. He does a great job. You know, he goes all out to the whistle, and he's got, you know, great quickness, good agility, and good strength. So it's a good combination for a guy at his position to have, and he can make it tough on you if you're not prepared for it.
Tony, what's kind of been the difference in your season, and how much of an influence has DeMarco Murray made in that regard?
Yeah, it's the whole team. I think DeMarco's having a great season. The offensive line has played really well. I think our defense has done a good job getting us the ball back, and ultimately you just keep improving as a player, and you get to a point where you feel very comfortable out there. You know, Philly's going to come after us. They're going to pressure us, but there's a comfort level there as well. You understand that that's part of the game, and that's, you know, we've done real well against, you know, pressure teams, you know, up to this point. So you got to have a plan for it and be prepared if you are. And as a quarterback, you start to thrive under those situations. So we'll see.
Tony, you guys have been a very balanced offense, almost methodical at times, the way you guys can move down the field. That almost seems to be a dying breed in the NFL these days. So what's the key to being able to do that?
Well, I think you got to be real good on third down. I think more than anything, if you're going to, you know, be a 10, 12 play drive team sometimes, you better be able to consistently move the chains on 3rd and 2, 3rd and 4, you know, 3rd and 5. And obviously we're going to run the football. And, you know, they're going to come in trying to stop that, and that'll be a great challenge for both teams. But you also got to be able to convert in the critical situations and when the times, you know, are needed.
Tony, there's a lot that gets made of the fact that you've only won one playoff game in your career, despite your skill level and your individual accomplishments. On the flip side of that, you have Mark Sanchez here in Philly, who probably isn't as accomplished individually as you are, but has won 4 road playoff games. I'm curious as to your take on evaluating a quarterback. Is it wins and losses? Is it beyond that? How do you come down on that whole issue?
Oh, I mean, there's a million different ways you can evaluate quarterbacks. Ultimately, we're all judged on winning and losing. And, you know, what did you accomplish? What was your achievement when you played? And, yeah, that's the way it should be. I think that's a great thing, you know, for quarterbacks. You know, we're in that position. And that's, you know, just what we're judged by. And so for me, it's why you work your butt off to continue to get better and play at a very high level week in, week out to give your team the best chance of success.
Tony, we were all kind of watching the game Sunday night with the Giants, and I was kind of wondering, like, what it was like to have all that time in the fourth quarter to, you know, throw the ball. It seemed like you had 6 to 8 seconds each time.
Well, yeah, if I'd have 6 to 8 seconds on every throw, we'd be real good. I know I did on a couple of those throws, and that was, you know, I think a little bit was the rotation. You know, they had rushed so many times up to that point that they, you know, probably were a little bit tired at that point of the drive on those last few plays. And on top of it, the guys up front just did a great job of getting on them and staying on them. And, you know, rushers a lot of the time see where the quarterback's going to go. You know, quarterbacks will move, leave the pocket, sometimes too early, and that allows them to kind of rush to them. And so, you know, your job as a quarterback is to keep your eyes downfield, find the guys that are open. If they're covered, you got to, you know, still get through the progressions again in a different fashion while understanding that the rush is coming. And if, you know, for me, it's my job to make them go through my guys to get to me. And a lot of guys like to run around guys. And if you do, you create areas for quarterbacks to find in the pocket. And if you don't, then you got to go through them. And once they stop their feet, it makes it difficult, you know, sometimes against our linemen. And, you know, our guys did a great job and allowed us to win that game.
Tony, you've been in a lot of Eagles-Cowboys games, but this one on Thursday on Thanksgiving with first place on the line. How special does this one have the potential to be, and what do you think the atmosphere is going to be like?
Yeah, I think our fans are going to be great. I think, it'll be, electric in that building, and they'll be ready to go and make it difficult, on Philadelphia. And I just think that, I know Philadelphia understands it's a big game. We do too. They'll be ready to go, and so will we.
The Eagles have said this is some of the players, they've called it a must-win game. Do you feel that way about it?
Every time you play in the National Football League, you feel like, each game is important. So you want to go out and do your best. Ultimately, we understand there's a lot of games left, but, it's a team that's coming in with the same record and atop the division. So it's a great test. They're a great football team. They're well coached. They have a great head coach. So, I think it'll be a great challenge for us.